differences. Okay, so we will start with Good Thursday. Good Thursday is the first day of the Easter week. Shh, silence. On Good Thursday, Jesus preached the first gospel, and on this day is the last Mass. On Good Friday, Jesus sacrificed himself on the cross, and to commemorate it, we go to the way of the cross. Way of the cross may be different, but there are 40 stations, including 3 falls of Jesus. Ways of the cross should go around cities, towns, or parks, and that's all. Okay. So, do you have something like, do you celebrate the way of the cross? Have you heard of this? Because you're Catholics. Right. This is typical for Catholics. Okay, so we have it, the way of the cross is very important for Catholics, and it's celebrated on Good Friday. You didn't say about the fast? No, on Good Friday there's a fast that we can eat anything made of meat. So we don't eat meat. We maybe not starving, but we don't starve, but we eat very little food. It's like our fast. No meat then. Okay.
Holy Saturday. On Holy Saturday we go to church to bless fast. We are blessing Easter basket because it's the symbol of resurrection, life, and salvation accomplished through the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross. That's why we put different types of fruit in the basket. We put lamb, sausage, ham, fish, eggs, cheese, horseradish, Easter cakes, salt and pepper, and paschal candle. But was paschal candle? Paschal candle is the symbol of the light of Christ coming into the world. It represents the risen Christ of life and death. After blessing the baskets, we go to a cemetery to dead people. Some families have tradition to leave the food on the graves.
So generally we go to bless the baskets with food. This is the tradition, and then after that we go to graveyards to celebrate our dead relatives. Because Jesus is in grave on Saturday, so we visit the Jesus grave in church, and our relatives in graveyards, cemeteries. Okay.
Easter breakfast takes place on Sunday this year on April 17th. The custom of Easter breakfast comes from an excerpt from the evangelist scripture. When they had eaten breakfast, Jesus asked Peter 3 times whether he loved him more than the other apostles. It is important to know that Jesus, who conquered death, is present in our family and at the table with us during this meal. Easter breakfast, symbol of food. Most of the dishes on the Easter table have a symbol. Even salt and pepper, bread called crumbs. Salt and pepper are supposed to protect against spoilage. Bread symbolizes fruit, which is why it is the first product put into the Easter feast. Cold cuts meat in the Easter basket. They are to symbolize abundance, wealth, fertility, and the end of fasting. Gifts. In many places Polish, the custom of giving children small gifts has been adopted. They are brought by the Easter bunny and hidden in the house or garden, and the youngest have the task of finding all the gifts. Usually these are simply sweets.
Yeah, to sum up, the most important meal is Easter breakfast. What about in the USA? What's the most important? Dinner. Yeah, in Poland it's breakfast, and after breakfast, Easter bunny comes to children and brings them presents. Or it's more popular that children look for the presents in the garden, in the bushes. So the presents are hidden. What about in the USA? The same. Okay. Now talking about the Polish traditional dishes.
In Poland we have some special dishes. So in Poland we have some special dishes, and here we have żurek. Żurek is a traditional Polish Easter dish known for years. Who came up with it? According to a legend, it was invented by a baker and owner of a inn somewhere in a village in Poznań. The name of the soup comes from the German word sojer, meaning sour. It's served with egg and bread.
Have you tried żurek in Poland? So you must, yeah, you have? So what are your impressions? It is made in many ways, so it's in one restaurant you can have something totally different than in the other. But I suggest trying żurek at the restaurant if you are.
So the next one is baranek wielkanocny. The lamb is a very important symbol of Easter. It symbolizes Jesus Christ himself, his meekness and obedience, presented in the company of a red flag with a cross. It reminds us of the resurrection of Christ, who overcame sin, placed in a basket with a saint, and placed on the Easter table. It can be made of ceramics, but also of sponge cake, butter, or sugar mass. And the next one is mazurek. Easter mazurek is a long cake most often prepared on the basis of 4 bread cakes, although in the past they were also made of marzipan and even macaron dough. The interior of the mazurek is filled with various mixes or creams, for example, walnuts, in the most traditional version.
In Poland it's called babka wielkanocna. It's made with flour, milk, and baker's yeast. Its sweet cake tastes delicious. Easter cake has become one of the symbols of Easter and the whole of Polish cuisine. It is traditionally decorated with white icing.
Okay, so we have 2 babkas here, or even more. So you can have a look, and after the presentation you will have the opportunity to taste it. So just one Easter dish to try.
Easter eggs with a pattern, usually made of pen or paint, in Poland are called pisanki. After depainting, we boil the egg and painting stays for a long time. Then we put finished eggs in the Easter basket.
In Poland, the white sausage is always in the Easter basket that we take to the church and then on the Easter table. It's usually boiled in water or baked and served with mustard. It's simply delicious.
Have you eaten white sausage? There are different. There are different types of white sausage in one place, in one town even. So you should try as many as possible because some may be better, some may be worse. And this is pisanka, for example. I took one. Have you seen pisanki somewhere in the shops? So these are like decorated eggs. It is made of polystyrene and it's covered with wool, so it's like craft and for people who have some manual abilities.
The second day of Easter is Wet Monday. On this day, we celebrate the traditions of Śmigus Dynkus. In the past, only boys poured water on pretty girls. Now everyone can pour everybody with water, and strangers can sprinkle as a joke. It's popular, especially among children and teenagers. You can pour with bottles or plastic containers full of water. Children have special gadgets like water guns or water balloons. On Easter Monday, there is a rooster-drawn carriage on which the young men drove a live rooster around the village on a richly decorated two-wheeled cart, to which the bird was tied. First, a live rooster was fed with grain soaked in spirit. Thanks to this, it was only able to make a loud, characteristic crowing, which had a symbolic meaning. In this way, it announced to the village the change of weather to spring. The rooster, prepared in this way, was tied to the carriage and started to walk around the houses in the village.
I need to add that during Easter we celebrate 2 days. So we have bank holidays on Easter Sunday and Monday. I heard that in the USA you just have 1 day of Easter. So we're lucky because we have 2. We don't have to go to work then. We rest. This is the end of our presentation, but not the end of the lesson. Because we have prepared Kahoot, do you have phones? You do? Okay.
O, co to przeszukiwać?
So we will check how much information you remember.
O, ciasteczka są bardzo dobre. Bardzo dobre są ciasteczka. Już je wiodłem. Dobre są bardzo. Very good. Record. Sorry. Angielski, polski. Wolno nazywać.
We have some technical problems, so please wait for a moment.
Problemy. Włącz.